Scotland's a wild and lovely place.
But there's a change we must embrace.
Scotland's water's world class.
No doubt.
So, take a refillable bottle.
When you go out.
It's your water, your life.
Top up from the tap with Scottish water.
Fresh, cool, clear.
And only available right here.
Well, a very good evening to you and welcome back for Day 2 finals of the Scottish National Short Course Championships. We're here in the Royal Commonwealth Pool, ready to go very shortly for our second night of finals. I'm Duncan McKinnell, and joining me this evening, I'm delighted to have Jack Thorpe, Commonwealth Games athlete extraordinaire. Welcome, Jack, to the commentary box.
Well, thank you very much for having me, Duncan. Great to be here. Great to be back for another exciting finals. It's always a pleasure.
Yep, it's going to be a good one, I think. We start off with 1500 freestyle. We saw Luke Hornsey in fine form last night in the 800 free. He's had 24 hours recovery, although he did swim 200 freestyle this morning. I'm not sure whether he's back again in that final. We'll keep an eye on that. That would be a tough ask, I think. I think he might have withdrawn from that to concentrate on this 1500 free, which is, I think, his signature event, the distance events, 8s and 15s. So we'll look out for him in that male and open 1500 freestyle. Female 200 IM should be a good one. We've got Grace Davison against Katie Shannon. Grace has been looking in really good form, the swimmer from Northern Ireland, but Katie Shannon, you probably fancy for that one. It's looking pretty good, Nick. I'm not sure how long she's been back in the pool since the Olympics, but is looking in pretty decent form after her break from the Olympics. 200 freestyle, Jack McMillan, part of that 4x2 gold winning team in Paris. He will be showing what he can do here. You would think will be the favourite, already a winner in freestyle yesterday. 100 butterfly will be a good one for the women. Kiana McInnes, Lucy Grieve, just 1/100th of a second between them in the 50 last night. So Lucy Grieve maybe looking for some revenge there.
Absolutely, yeah, it's been some really good swims so far. Really good swims.
Yeah, then we got 100 breaststroke in the men. Rory Dixon will be up against the South African Matthew Randall, so that will be interesting. The Tooks team from the University of Pretoria. It's great to have them over here. We've not seen them at a Scottish meet before, so really good that they've made the trip across, and I hope that they're enjoying it and they'll come back again. 50 freestyle for the women will be next up, and we've got a good few stars in that one. Evie Davis, the fastest qualifier, but she'll have Lucy Hope beside her and Katie Goodburn on the other side. Emma Scamparin, the Italian-based Scot, swimming for West Lothian this weekend, and see what she can do as well, the 18-year-old. Then it's 50 backstroke. The Bath boys looked really strong in the 200 last night, and Cameron Brooker will be leading the way in lane 4 with Jack Skerry, his teammate, in the 50 tonight. But we've also got Dean Fern perhaps looking for a junior record, and the Scottish record holder Scott Gibson as well going in lane 2 in that one. So there's lots and lots to get excited of. We've got 200 breaststroke for females after that. Cara Hanlon, Ellie McCartney, the Irish champion. 200 fly, Tom Bealey, second, I think, in the British Championships in April. Will be up against Edinburgh University's Brodie Gordon Gibson in that one. Then what will be one of the highlights, I think, the female 100 backstroke with Kathleen Dawson, the Olympian, up against Katie Shanahan and Holly McGill. And that could go any of those three ways, I would think. 100 IM, 400 freestyle to finish off, followed by 2 heats of the 4x50 medley team relay. But we're just about ready to get going with our first heat, and they'll be coming onto poolside very shortly. So in lane 1 we have Sam Wright of Tadcaster, see him up at the top. Ben McLaughlin for Geary in lane 2. Josh Denham, University of Stirling, in 3. Luke Hornsey going in lane 4 for Edinburgh University. Then it's Cameron Travis, University of Aberdeen, in 5. Aidan Turner of Newcastle Swim Team in 6. William Shepherd in his first season at University of Stirling, former Perth swimmer, goes in lane 7. And Oscar Churnside, the one junior in this fastest heat, goes for Geary. He needs to beat Toby Bullock's time of 16:25.40 that was swum this afternoon. He'll need a 12-second PB to do that, so that will be a big ask. It'll be interesting to see if he can do that. But they're under the whistle now, ready to go with our first event of the night, the male and open 1500 freestyle.
And we're underway. So I was speaking to Chris Jones earlier on, and he's got an eye in for Luke. He's been strength to strength the last few seasons. He's been doing really well. Obviously the 800 yesterday, did a brilliant time, and I think we're expecting a big swim here, hopefully. But just settling in obviously to that first 50, just keeping it nice and long and relaxed, sort of blowing away any pre-race nerves. Obviously the range and rhythm of the 1500 really important, you know, especially short course, so many walls, so many turns. I must admit, when I did it back in the day myself, did lose count a few times.
I'm not sure I've ever seen you do a 1500, Jack. I thought that's about 1450 more than I'm used to you doing.
back in the day as a junior,
right?
You know, a long time ago now, but it was my forte.
Okay.
But I'm glad I made that transition to the 50 freestyle and the 100, which was where I gained all of my success in the pool myself. But I can appreciate, not quite to this level, of course, that the speed these athletes are moving. But the training required and even the tactics around the 1500, it's always really interesting how you break down that distance. Yeah,
quite a young swimmer, of course. Luke just 18, so realistically would he be seeing as his career path over the next 2 or 3 years?
Yeah, I mean, I think the distance events, you think, in the GB level, there's a bit of a gap in the market, perhaps. You know, Kieran Bird, potentially, but there's, there is a real gap there in the distance side. We've had some greats over the years in GB, both male and female. And I think from Luke's development over the last few seasons has been phenomenal, both on a long course and short course. Long course, of course, importantly for those major meets such as the World Championships and Olympics. And I think the trajectory he's on currently, recently, in the GB level in particular, is sort of, if we can keep that momentum going, and it's got a very bright future ahead, particularly being so young, as you say, 18 years of age. So plenty more to come.
So he's up by 1.5 seconds after 200 metres from lane 5, Cameron Travis, who's also a good experienced distance swimmer, 20-year-old from the University of Aberdeen. Josh Denham on the other side, the 19-year-old from University of Stirling. I think his first season at Stirling, from the northeast. So, of course, this great turnout from the northeast. So 30.7 there for Luke Hornsey, and well, he would probably want to be pacing faster than that, but that might just be a little blip. He was pacing around that 30 seconds up till now. So we'll see how he settles down into this. But entry time 15:24. He actually went a little bit faster than that this time last year over in Canada with part of the British junior team that went to the Ontario junior meet. Did a 15:20 there. You can see a 30.5 there, so still under the 3 minutes at 300, but only just. And so he would need to pick it up if he was to stay under the minutes for his splits, but that's probably a little bit of an ask just on what we're seeing so far.
Yeah, I mean, there was a small injection of pace there. I think in that 50 you could see him rotation around the wall a bit quicker. I think the efficiency in the short course, especially with the walls, is so important. I think to Stephen Milne back in the day, he would really attack the walls, not necessarily with distance under the water, but just the time taken to really execute that skill. Because again, if you can save a few tenths every wall in a short course event, in the 1500, that really adds up, and it can make that difference, especially, as you say, if he's trying to keep under that 60 second per 100 pacing.
So Luke's coming up at about 5 metres. Is that what you'd expect for a distance swimmer? You don't want it too much underwater because it just takes too much out of the lungs?
Well, the hypoxic element is brutal, especially. You can build up the lactic acid far too quickly. It's not like in the shorter, snappier events you want to maximise the walls. Here it's all about efficiency. A nice stream and glide, gain the benefit of that momentum off the wall. One kick can pop up. So it's kind of counters the skills that you might expect in other events, but it's all about the efficiency. A nice controlled sort of 4-beat kick, again you would expect that. Again, saving the legs, you don't want to go to them too soon. Be far more likely that the swimmers will go to the legs in the latter half of the race as they build through their stages of pacing.
So do you think this is deliberate strategy, go fairly steady pace early on here, not try and kill yourself early?
Absolutely. I mean, I think with the 1500 you can break it down in different ways. 500s is a good way, sort of in thirds. I mean, again, we can see here a sort of a good consistent pacing. He's just slipped over that minute per 100 barriers. He's gone through that first third. That again, it's probably the tactics that you'll have spoken with Chris Jones as coach, understanding when to inject that pace, and when to increase, the breathing patterns. It'll all be a tactical process that they've gone through prior.
So he's pretty steady 61s at the moment, so that would be certainly comfortably inside his 15:24 entry time if he can hold that going. Nice shot, overhead shot of him going through that turn. 5:32.13 at the 5:50. Good race going on for the silver medal at the moment. Lane 3 is Josh Denham and lane 5 Cameron Travis, and well, there's not a lot between them, and Josh has just edged past Cameron, and not far away from them also in lane 6 is the Newcastle swimmer Aidan Turner, so certainly worth keeping an eye on him as well.
Yeah, Josh is looking really good up there. Nice long stroke, looking really controlled. Again, just easing past Cameron, as you say. Nice long loping stroke, breathing across. So we'll be able to see Cameron now. That's very much a tactical awareness that the athletes will be conscious of seeing each other as they turn, being able to look across the pool. Even they're saying, look, having a little look across to see where everyone else is. It's very much a big aspect of the 1500.
So yes, Josh has got about a body length over Cam Travis now, and then a similar gap between Cam and Aidan in fourth place, but clear of them, around about 6.5 seconds clear of them now, Luke Hornsey in lane 4. So his last split was about a 61.5. So we'll see what this one is going to be. It's going to be 700 metres coming up at this next turn.
Lovely shot there of the technique, really efficient breathing there. Nice loping 2-stroke. Again, just breathing off of the wall, maximising that oxygen intake, trying to sustain the lactic acid for as long as possible, keep that nice and low, stay relaxed. Good range, rhythm and relaxation, as you would say. Again, really important in the 1500 just to keep control of your pacing and inject when necessary.
So how do you control the lactic build-up in a long race like this?
It's very much the efficiency of the walls, as I say, not spending too much time underwater, not kicking too much off the wall. Again, Luke doing a really good demonstration there, just one really efficient kicking up, and just not going to your legs too much, because it will be the legs that really produces the most lactic acid, the largest muscles in the body, your quads, your glutes, and that's where that lactic acid, that burning feeling will really build. And that's why just being as efficient as possible in your stroke entry, your hand positioning, how much water you're actually catching and pulling. And Luke's doing a really great job of that now, as you can see. And as I said, that quick rotation around the wall, making it as efficient as possible. It's all about efficiency in these distance events. You don't see the same explosiveness and power in the shorter distances.
So he's picking it up a bit there. That was a 60.5 for his last 100. That's the fastest he's done since the first 100. So it's interesting to see whether, now they're in the second half of the race, whether he is starting to push it on.
Yeah, absolutely. I think there is a slight increase in his tempo as well there through the arms. Slight drop, 30.2. So there's a few tenths shaved off from his previous splits.
So we see a change there in third and fourth place. You saw there Aidan Turner's gone past Cameron Travis. So he's now out of shot. We'll just see him coming in now. There you can see him. The black cap versus the white of Cameron. And they're 3 meters or so behind Josh Denham.
Aidan's got quite an increased stroke rate, actually. It's interesting. It reminds me of Paltineri, the Italian, who had very high tempo, quite unusual for a distance event. But again, athletes find their appropriate rhythm, their tempo, so to speak. And for Aidan, that may well be the best place for him.
So certainly this is looking very strong for a best time for Luke. As I mentioned, 15:24 is entry time. He's certainly pacing comfortably inside that. So you're going through 9:50 there, 9:36, a 30.8 there. Great to have those 50 splits coming up on the board. Just allows us to keep track on the pace that they're going at. Because he's more than 10 seconds ahead of the field now, we're not seeing the splits for the swimmers behind him as they switch off after 10 seconds. But you can see there as they come up, it is still Josh Denham, but it's Aidan Turner, 15-year-old from Newcastle. So that's very promising for the future. It's entered on 15:48, Aidan. He did that recently at the North East Short Course Championships, which he won, so going very nicely indeed.
Yeah, he's still well within shout of Josh, and again he's just going in with that gutsy age group mentality and not overthinking it. I'm sure he will have his race tactics in mind, but it's you get in and race in these situations, and that's exactly what he's doing. He'll be able to look across there as he turns towards Josh. Again, he's breathing towards him on a bilateral every 3 strokes, so he will have that opportunity to kind of look around and see where he's at. All important in the sprint finish at the end, but we're not quite there.
Yeah, and you could just see them coming up towards their 10:50 turn, and they were, in fact, there's the pacing for them. 31.1 for Aidan, 31.8 for Josh, so quite a difference, 7 tenths. But here comes Luke at the front, 11:07.21 at 1100 meters. So again, very much on that 61 pace. So 400 to go. Level pacing would be, what, 15:11 or thereabouts. You'd expect him to pick it up at the closing stages.
Yeah, if he's done his tactics correctly, I think he will. I mean, he's not gone to his legs just yet as much, but he has increased his leg kick a little bit. He's probably more of between a 4 and a 6 beat now. Again, you'll see towards the end he will really start to go to his legs, but I think he has 30.9. It's a bit of a drop there in his pace. He was 30.2 before, so he's still hanging on, still on a controlled rhythm.
Yeah, so however you call it, this is very strong performance from Luke Hornsey. Certainly now you can pretty much guarantee that he's going to add the 1500 gold to the 800 that he won yesterday. 12:08.80 with 300 to go, so about a 61.5 split there for that 100.
Really impressive from Aidan as well. The youngster, he's really pulling away from Josh now. He's holding on to that high tempo and he's really found his rhythm. Again, pushing through. He's done an excellent job with the pacing. It was Josh and Cameron for a while in that second and third position. Aidan was just in the background, but he's done a very good job of holding on and actually building through the 1500.
Yeah, you can see there he's got a lead of 3-4 meters now over Josh Denham, and then Cameron Travis about 6-7 meters back. In fact, in danger of getting lapped by Luke before we're done. He won't like that.
Oh, that's the danger of the 1500 short course. I remember as a junior, a 16-year-old or a 15-year-old Stephen Milne lapped me at the Scottish Championship, so yeah, that wasn't great, but it is what it is.
Yeah. He was an Olympian, or became an Olympian probably after that.
Absolutely, yeah. So
yeah, 400 of course is probably his signature event, but for a long time he was a key part of that 4x200 team that's been so good for so long in GB circles. But let's focus here on Luke Hornsey, coming up then to the 1350, so just 150 to go, 1340 there. So again, we'll be looking, what point will he turn up the burners? Do we wait till the bell, or will he go earlier than that?
Well, he'll be coming in for the last 100 now, I believe, so I think he will be thinking, if he's aware, he will be able to see those scorecards when you turn back and breathe. That's what they're for, so he should be aware that this is his last 100. The bell will be in the next 50, and obviously coming up on Cameron there, that will be a good motivation for him to try and push past, try and lap Cameron, and Cameron will likewise try and stay away from him, I'm sure, and try and stop him from lapping him. So I think for both of them it's a good thing for their final push.
Yeah, so if we did another 61, we're talking 15:12. I think we might be just a little bit faster than that and get towards 15:10 maybe. Let's see how it goes. It will be the bell this time, and there it rings as we come down then. So 30.8, so he didn't pick it up there, but you'd certainly expect him to pick it up now.
Absolutely, you can see the legs motoring now. He's up at a 6 to 8 tempo kick, really pushing through. Everything he's got left in the tank will be coming out now, really trying to sprint into the wall. His shoulders will be absolutely burning, I'm sure, but he's still holding on really well to his technique, looking nice and long, going to those legs, driving into the wall, hopefully chuck his head down at the end, stretch in and get a good finish.
Oh, nicely done. 15:10.70, so pretty much bang, just under the minute for his final 100, and a brilliant performance. 15:10.70 there is the winning time.
28.99 for the last 50, so a nice sprint finish.
So coming in for second spot then, here he is, the youngster from Newcastle, Aidan Turner, 15:35.14. So Aidan coming in on 15:46, and he only did that 15:48 rather. He only did that a month ago in Sheffield, so nice improvement there of 13 seconds for him. Josh Denham 15:40.18. He's 3 seconds inside his entry time. Cameron Travis will have to settle for fourth, 15:43.60. So just missing out on the podium. So we did have Sam Wright, the final swimmer there. Oscar Churnside That's an amazing final 50 from Oscar Churnside there, 29.76. Very impressive.
Maybe left a bit too much in the tank there, Duncan, potentially, but nothing like a sprint finish.
Anyway, that was a brilliant swim from Oscar. He came in on a 16.37, take that down to 16.03. So he will be our junior champion. So very nice stuff indeed. So Luke Hornsey takes the win, there's confirmation of it. Aidan Turner will be the silver medalist. Josh Denham the bronze. And Oscar Churnside will be the Scottish junior champion. So that was a nice way to get us started for a Saturday evening. Our next swim is the B final of the female 200 metres individual medley. Here's your lineup for you. Ella Smith of Barrow Stockton in 1. 2 from Newcastle's Aquajets team. Laura Turner in 2. Erin O'Meara in 3. Rebecca Reid for Aberdeen in 4. Alice Forrest of Derwentsside and Gateshead in 5. Nuala Gow of Geary in 6. Mary Mischenko, University of Aberdeen in 7. Morven Adams, Dundee City Aquatics in lane 8. Mary Mischenko had a monster morning session. I think she had 5 swims this morning.
Wow.
So she's had some rest this afternoon, which I'm sure she'll be grateful for. So we'll see how she does here in lane 7. Rebecca Reid, though, the fastest by a second from the heats this morning. She goes in lane 4. Good start in lane 2 as well. The Aquajet swimmer Laura Turner. So coming up to the 50, and in this 200 IM it is Laura Turner leading the way, 29.35.
Yeah, a great turn there from Lara, and it's always really interesting in IM events to see the different specialists coming through, the different strengths in the strokes. You can see a bit of a chop and change, particularly in the breaststroke leg. You can see a huge change in the race, being the slowest leg. So it's the most opportunity to really make up time or lose time, Duncan, depending on your strengths, of course.
Lane 7 is Mary Mischenko, and she's up in the mix for second place, along with lane 4, Rebecca Reid. But it is Lara at the halfway point, 1:04.78. So we go to the breaststroke 50. So I wonder whether they will catch Lara in this one. It's not looking too likely at the moment. She's still got, what, 2-3 metres of an advantage?
Yeah,
over the 2 white caps from Aberdeen, University of Aberdeen Mary, and Aberdeen ASC Rebecca. Coming up nicely as well in lane 6 is Nuala Gow. She is very much a breaststroke specialist. And as well, she is getting herself into the mix here. But it's still Laura Turner. They've got catch up to do, 1 1/4 seconds at clear at the 150.
Blistering leg there for Nuala Gow with 38.1, flying through the field. She's doing really well to push herself into second position, but Lara's still holding on, doing a really good job there up in lane 2. She's looking across the field, she'll see where everyone is. Sprinting down, and a great finish coming through here for Mary. Coming through for potentially challenge second place. It's going to be really tight on the wall. Oh, Nuala hangs on. That was a great comeback there for Mary. And there is the 1-2-3. Lara doing an excellent job right from the beginning, really, Duncan, really holding her own.
Yeah, so about 3.5 seconds faster than she was this morning, so good stuff. And she came in on a 2:19.45. That was the time she did at Bucks last month, so taking a second off that as well. So she'll be happy, I would think, with her performance there in that B final.
Absolutely.
So we're ready to go now with our first open final of the night. There they are, just behind the banner, ready to come on. They'll come on lane 8 to lane 1. So first to make their way to their block, they're looking pretty serious there, and that is Evie Mackey, the 15-year-old from South Lanarkshire. Then next to her, Nellie Kinch of University of Stirling. Her teammate Susie McNair, winner of the 400 IM last night. Katie Shannon, the winner of the 200 back last night. Grace Davison, the winner of the 100 free last night. So we've got 3 gold medalists there. Georgia Else, the South African, going in lane 3. Libby Freeman of Morpeth, the 18-year-old, goes into lane 2, and Emily Maxwell of Derwentside and Gateshead goes to lane 1. Fastest time, Grace Davison, 2:12.27 this morning. Fastest on paper coming into this meet, Katie Shanahan, 2:07, the time she did at European Short Course, just missing out on the medal this time last year in the Europeans. So it'll be interesting to see what sort of form Katie can bring to this tonight. Certainly at her peak, you would think she'd be a comfortable winner of this one, but is she at her peak?
Oh, good question, Duncan. A bit of a break since the Olympics, likely just getting back into things. But then again, you know, you've got the walls. I think short course can be a lot more forgiving from a training perspective. The skills will very much still be there, and I think Katie will be utilising those to the fullest extent, particularly in the backstroke.
So as they come down to the first turn, it is the two in the centre lanes pretty much together there. Grace in lane 4, Katie in lane 5, and it is Katie Shannon who's just opened up a bit of a lead now, about a metre up. Susie McNair going well as well, who's in 3rd place as they go into backstroke. So 28.32, Katie Shanahan split. And I can tell you that that is over a second faster than she was this morning.
Yeah, really building through nicely. Big underwaters. She's probably breaking out in the 10-metre mark roughly. Yep. Again, really executing those skills. Still a hot contest for 3rd between Susie and Nelly. See if Susie can translate that 400 endurance down to the 200, a bit more short and sharp, a bit more power-based, particularly with the turns here. It'll be really burning the lungs as they break out in the breaststroke. A chance to compose yourself.
So it's, I think, pretty clear who the top 2 are going to be. It's not quite over yet because Grace Davison's looking pretty good in the breaststroke, and she's doing her best to try and claw back the advantage. There's a great race brewing for the bronze medal, because joining them is the South African Georgia Else in the red cap in lane 3, and also Libby Freeman in lane 2 from Susie Minnair and Nellie Kinch on the other side of the pool. But it is still Katie Shannon. You see there at 37.5. She was faster on the breaststroke than anyone as well. She's now got a lead of nearly 2.5 seconds to take into the freestyle. She'll not give that one up. The question is, how fast can she go in this final 50? Looking very strong indeed. So this is very impressive stuff. Hannah Miley's Scottish record, 2:06.21. She's not quite going to be at that standard, but not that far away, 2:08.08. So that's very impressive there from Katie Shanahan, taking her 2nd gold of these championships. Grace Davison will take silver this time, and Susie McNair, 2:14.71, takes the bronze.
Yeah, it was a brilliant last 50 there for Susie, 31.35. Excellent finish in the freestyle, really striding away from the others that were challenging her for 3rd place.
Evie Mackey there on a 2:20.19. She will be the Scottish junior champion, so congratulations to her. Right on the time she did in the heats this morning as well. So 200 IM is done. And we go back to the men and 200 freestyle. Again, we've got a B and an A final here. That's your lineup for the B final. So they're out at the blocks, ready to go. The lineup: Henry Baker of University of Stirling in 1, Stefan Kravis of Edinburgh University in 2, Pierce Greening of University of Stirling in 3, Arthur Logan, Edinburgh University in 4, Evan Davidson of Perth City in 5, Rory McKinnon, City of Glasgow in 6, Thomas Leggett and Cameron Rapson, both from University of Stirling, complete the field in lanes 7 and 8.
Yeah, it's good representation from Edinburgh and University of Stirling. Interesting to see the youngster, Evan Davidson, if he can challenge in lane 5. Looks smooth this morning. All these athletes, the majority apart from lane 8, in sub 150. Out of interest, my personal best was 1:48.00 from Scottish Short Course about 10 years ago. So I hope those athletes can challenge and break under. Arthur Logan this morning was a 1:48.2. So again, the Edinburgh legacy there. It would be great for him to dip under my personal best time. It would be nice to see. Not that 200 was my thing, Duncan, of course, but short course you could get away
Just
with
saying, as you say, just saying.
it. So it's a little bit far for my 50 focus, but
24.85 then, Rory McKinnon just edging it from lane 6. It looks like he's still got the lead going through the 75-metre turn, but plenty of swimmers close to him in what I think is going to be a very competitive race there. We have 2 swimmers on 148s and, well, nearly all the rest on 149s.
blistering first 100 there for Rory McKinnon. 51.95, excellent coming down. Has he given it a wee bit too much too soon? The others are looking a bit more controlled, potentially clawing back a little bit as they come around the next turn. Centre lane's building through.
Yes, Rory McKinnon, probably better known as 100. He was the Scottish champion in the 100 last night, and he will be looking now to hang on, I think, in this final 50, as Evan Davidson, the Perth swimmer, is on his case, does his training at Strathallan School. So 119.47 against just over the 120, and they are turning together now. Nice turn from Rory though, just gave him the edge coming out of that turn, but Evan is the one with the momentum now as they come into the final 5 metres. I think it will be the Perth man, Arthur Logan, also finishing strongly, but Evan takes the win. 147.60 for him. So good, strong swim. Came into this meet on the 147.9 and takes 3/10 off that. Arthur Logan does do a 147.9, so 2 in the 147 territory.
Absolutely brilliant there from Evan Davidson, really controlled. Sprinting down that last finish right on the lane line. Excellent swim. Great to dip under that 148 as well. Excellent for both of the swimmers.
So we come up to our first male and open final. So here they come. Arvind Chahal going into lane 8, representing University of Stirling. There's Finley Clubb for Edinburgh University. George Smith, winner yesterday in the 200 IM, goes into lane 6 for University of Stirling. Then we've got Matthew Ward, the Scot, based in Bath. Chad McMillan, we talked about earlier, University of Stirling. Cameron Brooker, winner in the 200 back, goes in lane 3 for Bath. Evan Bailey, the Irishman from Limerick, into lane 2, and David Annis of University of Stirling in lane 1. So there's your lineup. Jack McMillan with the fastest time from the heats, 144.76, only 3/10 faster than Matthew Ward, but again, I suppose a bit like Katie Shannon, you would expect him to turn it up in this final, and it would be a surprise if he doesn't win it, but you never know. They've got to do it.
Well, he's got the speed from yesterday, dropping in the 47s for the 100, and looks pretty controlled. 200 being a lot more of his focus. Yeah, I was surprised to see a 144 this morning, potentially a wee bit quicker than he needed to. Maybe just really wanted to secure that centre lane.
Yeah, Matthew Ward's 145 was very strong. That was a best time. 145.3 came in, 145.0 he swam, so he'll be looking to get into the 144 territory, would think, tonight. Maybe wanting to stake a claim for a Scottish 4x200 team for 2026.
Absolutely, it's gone strength to strength, and of course the pedigree of Duncan Scott and the like, and the history within that 200 freestyle event across GB, of course. But it's really some big shoes to fill, but I think a lot of these athletes are really striding for those standards that are being set across the board.
Yeah, Scotland have won a lot of Commonwealth medals in the 4x2, and they'll be hoping to do that on home soil in 2026. So it's Jack McMillan who leads the way, 23.58, half a second up on Cameron Brooker in lane 3. So he'll be looking to go fast here. The others are all there or thereabouts behind them, so plenty of swimmers going strongly here.
Yeah, excellent for Jack McMillan, really fast, a 48.8 to his feet, blisteringly quick. First 100, looking controlled as well, breathing every 2, really relaxed body position, really long distance per stroke. 3-4 kicks off the wall, maximising getting under that wave, the wake that's coming in from the other athletes. He's looking in an excellent position to really push 143, potentially 142 here, Duncan.
So 50 to go for him, 1:14.73. That is about a second and a half faster than he was this morning, so he definitely is really pushing the boat out here. Cameron Brooker holding on to second. He's looking good for that now, and the race is on for third. Plenty of contenders: Evan Bailey, Matthew Ward, George Smith, all there or thereabouts. But it's going to be Jack McMillan who's going to bring this home. Lovely shot of him coming into the finish now. Here he comes, 1:41.94, right on. He came into the meet 1:41.93, so right on that time. Brilliant stuff from Jack.
Excellent swim there. I mean, the final 50, really, really powerful there, holding on well. Blisteringly quick first 100 as well. Really put himself in a great position and great to dip under that 142.
That battle for third, George Smith just touching out Matthew Ward there. So he will be the Scottish champion. The junior, not swimming this evening, Jensen Norris of Perth City will be his second junior medal on freestyle. So congratulations to him as well. So next up we have the 100 butterfly. And because this is a 100 event, we've got 3 finals in this one: a C final, a B final, and an A final. So the swimmers there ready to go for the C final. The lineup: Meredith Harness of Tadcaster in lane 1, Ailey Robertson of South Ayrshire in lane 2, Leda Weatherspoon of Heart of Midlothian in 3, Becky Watson, Borough Stockton in 4, Millie Mainwaring, who's been in great form, in lane 5. She's got this time swim from the afternoon heats. Isabel Wood for Edinburgh University in 6, Gabby Freeman of Morpeth in 7, and Ashley Drake of Warrender in lane 8. 103s and 104s their time in the heats.
And that's us underway as the athletes break out. Around the 12-metre mark off the start. It's really good to maximise those turns. You can always get caught out and fly in breaststroke, in particular in the turns. Do you time your stroke correctly? Is it a glide? Is it a half? Again, all these things really adding up across the board, but the athletes looking control. Centre lanes of Becky and Millie. Might be Layla that's actually just touched. No, it's Becky, 28.8.
Yep, 28.86, just 600ths in it between her and Layla Weatherspoon in lane 3, but I think she's opening that gap a little bit more at the 75. Also not far away is Millie Mainwaring in lane 5, and that was a nice turn from Millie. She comes down in the blue cap of City of Glasgow. So there's a race on down this final length. Isabel Wood also going well in lane 6, but it's lanes 3 and 4, and it's Layla Weatherspoon who nicked it from lane 3, 1:02.69. So they'll be rejoicing in the Heart of Midlothian club this evening for that win. 1:02.69 for Layla. Came in to the meet on a 1:03.40, so excellent performance there from the Heart swimmer, taking the C final. So we go straight to a B final next. Just waiting for that one to be confirmed though. So just hold on in case there's any issues. Whether it's a timing issue or whether there is discussion about any sort of technical matters. Because they are just taking their time over this one. But there you go, we do have a confirmed result, and it is Layla Weatherspoon from Becky Watson and Ailey Robertson just by 300ths, touching out Millie Mainwaring into 4th place. So there is the lineup for the B final, and it is Faith Yuda will go for Edinburgh University in lane 1, Catherine Renfrew of Perth City in 2, Coco Croxford, South Lanarkshire in 3, Chloe Harris, Edinburgh University in 4, Seren Tamantar of Morpeth in 5, Elena Morgan of University of Stirling in 6, Lara Turner back in lane 7, going for Aquajets Newcastle, Kiana Kurtzer in lane 8 for Warrender. 1:02s and 1:03s. The heat times in this B final. So we'll see whether they can push that up a notch. Good start in lane 5. Seren Talentire of Morpeth. Looked like she was first to the 25 wall and out of it nicely as well.
Brilliant underwaters there, Duncan, from Seren Talentire. It was excellent turn as well. Can really maximise the underwaters. Brilliant skills, really taking full advantage of that as she strides forward. Nearly a body length lead on Chloe in lane 4.
So see whether they'll come back at all at her. There's 3 swimmers all turning together behind her. Meredith Harness in 1 and Faith Uder in 1, Coco Croxford in 3, Chloe Harris in 4. But it is going to be the Morpeth swimmer, Seren Talentire, never threatened. Oh, so close to getting under the minute there, 1:00.11. So nice swim from Seren there. 1:00.49 she came into this meet, so that's nice progress, about 4/10 knocked off that. Coco Croxford, very much a 200 fly specialist, strong at the end there to come through for second. So they are done, and we move to our next A final. This will be a goodie. Here come the swimmers just ready to make their way out to the podium, and first out is going to be the junior swimmer from Inverclyde, and that is Abby McInerney. Lane 7, Maisie Elliott of Bath University. Lane 6, Kathleen Dawson doing fly, which is something different for her. Lucy Grieve, certainly she's used to the 100 fly plenty of times, as is the swimmer next to her, Kiana McInnes, both of course from University of Stirling. Then in lane 3 we've got the University of Edinburgh swimmer Kira Schlossen. So she will be up against the Stirling team. Holly Hibbert of Bath Performance Centre in lane 2, and Josephine Klein for University of Stirling in lane 1. So Kiana McInnes, winner of the 50 fly by 100th from Lucy Grieve. Lucy, can she get her revenge? Lucy is the Scottish record holder in this one, 57 seconds dead. So well, that's another thing to keep an eye on. Just possible, you never know.
59.0 this morning, likely holding quite a lot back. No need to go any quicker. Again, secure a centre lane. I think it's going to be a really hot contest between Kiana and Lucy, and great to see Kathleen mixing it up a bit, trying something different. Why not?
So away they go. Let's see how they come out of the dive, using those skills from the dive, and it is the 2 in the centre lanes looking strong. Kiana going in 4 and Lucy in 5. Looks like it's a narrow advantage to Kiana McInnes. She is the British champion long course in this one, because we don't have a British short course championships. The home nations will have their own. But we'll look at that, just 400ths in it, 27.21 and 27.25 at the halfway mark.
Yeah, Lucy's had some excellent turns. Kiana's swimming speed arguably a bit quicker. She's been catching her up, but Lucy's really been maximising those walls and taking it out of Kiana's swimming. And same again, an excellent turn from Lucy as they sprint into the wall here. Kira Sloshin looking great for 3rd place, but it is a sprint finish between Kiana and Lucy. Who's going to get it on the touch? Oh, that was really close again. Lucy Grieve holding on well. Excellent skills there, Duncan, across the piece from Lucy.
Yeah, getting her revenge there. So she was beaten by Kiana by 100th in the 50. She gets her revenge by 500ths in the 100. Kira Schlossen taking the bronze medal there, 58.88. So great stuff from all those swimmers. And Abby McInerney from lane 8, our junior champion. So I have our first set of presentations coming up now. The 1500 freestyle. They'll be making their way to the podium area very, very soon. There is the podium. So those recognise that podium, Jack, used at the Commonwealth Games back 10 years ago now. Can you believe it's 10 years ago since 2014?
Well, I wasn't fortunate enough to step on the podium in Glasgow, but I did step on the podium in 2018 in the Gold Coast. But I do have memories of that podium. Teammates from Edinburgh, the likes of Corey Scott, for example, won a bronze medal. So again, it's nice, that legacy that's holding true.
Yeah.
And again, with a home games around the corner, 2026 now confirmed for Glasgow, the games will be returning.
Yep, can't wait for that. So we're just waiting for the swimmers to make their way out. Hopefully they'll do that fairly soon. There's our trusty cameraman who's saying that after a long day of swimming, that camera feels pretty heavy. When he first starts in the morning, he says, "Oh, this is pretty light." By the end of tonight, it's going to be, oh my goodness, I've got to carry this thing another time. But here they come, our medalists from the 1500 freestyle. So the bronze medalist, Josh Denham from the University of Stirling. Gillian Strathern, a Scottish Swimming Board member, making the presentations here. There's your silver medalist, the youngster from Newcastle Swim Team, 15:35.14. What a swim that was. Looks pretty pleased with it. And Luke Hornsey in a 15:10.70, best time for him. And taking it all in his stride. Nice little quiet smile. And the junior champion, Oscar Churnside of Geary. That was an excellent swim, just over the 16 minutes for him. Really taking it out strongly, big improvement on his entry time. So well done to all four of them.
Yeah, Luke's getting closer and closer to that sub 15 big barrier in the swimming world, getting under that 15-minute marker. But another excellent swim from all the athletes, taking big chunks out of their entry times and personal bests.
And we go now to the 200 individual medley presentation. So in the green there for University of Stirling, bronze medalist Susie McNair, that to her gold in the 400 IM. So a nice double there, gold and bronze for her. Then it is Grace Davidson from Ards, our silver medalist. And the champion from the University of Stirling, 2:08.08, Katie Shanahan. And South Lanarkshire's Evie Mackey, our junior champion. So nice swim from Evie to win the gold. Just 15, another year as a junior next year. So very promising practitioner, can do pretty much everything. Of course, as they're young, they usually can, don't they? They're amazing. And then they start to specialise later on.
Yeah, can still take off big chunks of personal best times when you're younger as well. We've seen a few of that so far. Particularly with Aidan, an enormous drop in his 1500.
Yes.
Those were the days, Duncan. Could walk into a swim and take seconds off your time.
Yep, those were the days. So looking to do something similar are the swimmers in the C final of the Male and Open 100 metres breaststroke. So the line-up here, we have Nicholas Land of Newcastle Swim Team in 1, Ben Rogers, University of Aberdeen, performance in 2, Austin Williams, Edinburgh University in 3, Ben McAvoy, Stirling Swimming in 4, Jack Mitchell, University of Aberdeen, performance in 5, Albert Bangan, University of Stirling in 6, Alexander Turnbull from the Isle of Man in 7, Callum Aitchison, University of Aberdeen in lane 8.
Excellent start from Ben in the centre lane. Good turn as well. Still fairly even in the first 50. I think it's going to be Ben just edging out in front.
So at the 50 metre mark, you're right, it is Ben by quite a margin. It's nearly 7/10, 29.36 for him. Albert Bangan behind him.
Not quite getting it all his way though. Jack Mitchell pulling back a little bit. An excellent third 25 there. It's going to be close between these three into the final 15.
Yeah, very close indeed. Albert Bangan, the Indonesian swimmer in lane 6, is up there. Callum Aitchison going really well in lane 8 as well. Who's going to get the touch? Is it Callum? No, it's Jack Mitchell from lane 5. So that is now confirmed by 900s, 1:04.30. So
what a finish from Callum there. Outside smoker, blistering through at the end.
Yeah, at Jack Mitchell, 1:04.67 in the heats, 1:04.30 in the final. That's your lineup for the B final. Connor Mitchell of Warrender, Robson Miles, City of Glasgow, Andrew Feenan of the National Centre Limerick, Matthew Garrity of City of Glasgow, Don Bissett, University of Stirling, Albert Whitlock of Tunbridge, and 2 more University of Stirling swimmers, Angus Allison in 7, Nathaniel Shanubi in lane 8. So the times in the heats in this one, 1:02s and 1:03s. Matthew Garrity, City of Glasgow, has the fastest time from the heats, 1:02.24. Matthew, just looking at his 1:02.84 he came into this meet, so half a second inside that this morning. Can he improve on that further? Can anyone else come and take it to him? So off they go. So reaction times, the 0.6s and 0.7s. And well, up to the 25. About 6 swimmers all turning just about together. Out of the turn.
Nathaniel had an excellent turn there. Down in lane 8. Again, we've got another outside smoker in our hands here potentially, Duncan.
Yeah, it's lane 4 and lane 8. Garrity. Well, and Matthew Feenan as well, in fact, in lane 3, but 29.03. Matthew Garrity with the edge. And he looks like he's starting to take control of this now. In lane 4, he's up by about a metre at the 75 turn. Very tight for second. Lanes 3, 5 and 8 all there or thereabouts. Can they put in a charge and challenge Matthew down the stretch? I don't think they can. I think it's going to be Matthew. Can he get inside his 1:02.24? Yes, he can. 1:01.94. So another 3/10 knocked off his time. So that's a good day's work. Coming into the meet on a 1:02.8. Takes that down to 1:02.2 in the heat and 1:01.9 in the final.
Excellent progression there. It's what you want to see. Heats the finals. If you can pull that through and keep taking those chunks off. Great to break that barrier of the sub 62. Now we move on to the A final.
And they're ready to come on now. First coming out will be Josh Bress, University of Stirling. There he comes. In lane 7, Edinburgh University's Joshua Mitchell. His teammate Eugene Cook, the Irishman, been in Edinburgh University for a good number of years now. Lane 5 is the South African Matthew Randall from Tooks. For Rory Dixon, winner yesterday in the 50. Andrew Arthur of University of Aberdeen goes to 3. Rafe Dobson, University of Stirling in 2, and his teammate Callum Melville will go into lane 1. So 2 swimmers under the minute in the heats this morning. Rory Dixon 59.77, Matthew Randall 59.99. Matthew Randall has the fastest entry time coming into this meet, 58.87. He is the South African long course champion, represented South Africa in the World Championships last year. Rory Dixon, winner in the British Summer Championships, finalist in the British Championships and Olympic Trials back in April in London. So it should be a good contest, I think, between these two.
Yeah, good for Rory to have a bit of someone to push him along. He's been kind of having it his way in the Scottish breaststroke for a number of years now, with the usual suspects having stepped away in recent years.
Yeah, and Archie Goodburn, of course, not available, and he's off to the World Short Course, so he's not here for this one. So you would think will be Rory and Matthew in the centre lane. So Rory going in the white cap, Matthew in the red. And I think they are first and second at the 25 turn. Difficult sometimes to get a clear view of where the positioning is from that camera, slightly skewed as they come in, but now you get the good view, and it is very close between the two of them. Just 0.04 of a second in Rory's favour, 27.81. That is about quarter of a second faster than he was in the heats this morning. Matthew Randall still right there with him though. Could put in a challenge on him down the final 25. Behind those two, it looks like Oisin Cook maybe just in third place in lane 6, but that is close with Joshua Mitchell as well. But it is Dixon and Randall going to be 1 and 2, and it's, well, quite a convincing victory for Rory in the end, 59.10. So entered on 58.91, so within 0.2 of that. Will he be happy with that, or a little frustrated that he wasn't a bit faster?
I think just missing the sub 59 might be a bit frustrating, but I still think you can't be too harsh on yourself being so close to his entry time, and it was still a very convincing performance, backing up what was an electric 50 yesterday as well.
Rafe Dobson there picking up the bronze medal there out of lane 2, so that was a good swim from him. The junior champion, by the way, will be Johnny Martin. He's a reserve for those finals, a 16-year-old from Perth City, so hopefully we'll see him on the podium shortly. But before that, we go to 50 metres freestyle, and we have again 3 finals to entertain you with in this one. So there are the swimmers for the C finals: Zoe Holligan, University of Aberdeen Performance; Ashley Drake of Warrender; Ruth Sutherland of Heart of Midlothian; Mary Mischenko back for a second swim, University of Aberdeen Performance. In fact, a number of these back for a second swim. Millie Mainwaring as well for City of Glasgow; Kiana Kurtzer of Warrender in 6; Lily Mundell of Heart of Midlothian, the 14-year-old, in 7; Ciara Morris, City of Glasgow, in lane 8. 26.6 to 26.8. So don't expect there to be a lot in this between the 8 of them. So 50 freestyle. Is it just about getting your head down and battering, or is there more to it than that?
Oh, I mean, it's the splash and dash. It's all about the skills, the execution, but it's going to be really tight on the wall here as we come at the end. But it's looking like a convincing final 15 there from Lily in lane 7. That was an excellent finish. Did really well to hold her own head down, as you say. It's really about, if you can hold your breath as much as possible, minimize the number of breaths you take, because it actually slows you down. So you'll see as we progress through these heats to the A final, it's likely the athletes will take as few breaths as possible, perhaps 1 or 2 across the whole 50.
So when would you do those breaths, sort of before the turn or after the turn with your first breath?
If you were doing 2 breaths, it would likely be before the first turn, and then as you break out of the turn. Again, it depends. Some athletes would take one at the 5 meters before, again to maximize the walls, and then as they push off and break out again, a few strokes, final breath, and then build into the wall. So it took me a long time to be able to master it and really do the whole thing, no breath. It's a very difficult thing to do, but I think it's a fine balance. B
finalists then: Natalie Marshall, Melissa Turnbull, Layla Weatherspoon, Yasmin Hemelaine, Josephine Klein, Evie Mackey, Eve Wood, and Emma Scobie. 26.0 to 26.5, the range of times from the heats. Yeah, good to see a few athletes try and break that 26 barrier here. Off they go. Yasmin Hemelaine of Edinburgh University, the fastest time, 26.03, and it does look like she is going to lead them through the turn in lane 4. Very distinctive style from Yasmin there. She comes out of the turn, and it looks like she still has the edge. It's very, very tight behind her. Is she going to bring it in? It's close as she comes in lane 5. Josephine Klein just nicked it from her at the end there by 0.03 of a second. So 2 of them getting under the 26. Josephine and Yasmin, 25.74 and 25.77. The tip was Josephine Klein, University of Stirling, just getting the honours there.
Yeah, Josephine was electric there in the final 15. Really high stroke rate, just powering through and blasted past in the end. Great to see two athletes in the 25.
And our open final now. And first out will be Laurie Devine of Edinburgh University. And behind her, Drew Mackenzie, Edinburgh University. There is Emma Scomparin of West Lothian. 5, Katie Goodburn, Edinburgh University. Evie Davis, they're coming out thick and fast here. There is Lucy Hope of University of Stirling, Grace Davison, and Catherine Renfrew in lane 1 for Perth City. Oh, they were out like a flash there.
They were
I hope
indeed.
they go that fast in the spool.
Yeah, splash and dash in the water and out.
In a hurry to get going. Evie Davis, the fastest time.
I think Katie Goodburn could potentially challenge first here. She looked really good in the 50 breaststroke yesterday. Again, a bit of a sprint specialist. Very good in the freestyle as well. I think Evie Davis will have her eyes on a good time here. We'll see what she's got in the tank.
Yeah, couldn't find a serious competition 50 freestyle for Lucy Hope in the last year or two. So it's certainly not something that she does very often, but she looked pretty good in the heats this morning. Of course, we'll be relying on that skill for the back end of her 100s and 200s, so probably a good practice run this for Lucy. She goes in lane 3, but as you said, Evie in 4, Katie in 5, perhaps the two who will battle this one out. Grace Davison, the winner of the 100, of course, so what can she do out of lane 2? But it does look like it's the two in the centre lanes. So Evie in 4, Katie in 5, out of the turn. Also going well, Laurie Devine in lane 8. Can she throw a surprise here? Don't think so. I think it's going to be lane 4. It is Evie Davis, 25.14. So that is 1500ths faster than she was in the heats. Pretty close to her entry time of 25.02. Grace Davison taking second there. And Lucy Hope by 100th, taking Katie Goodburn off the podium there. So
Grace,
that's your
Grace
1,
did
2, 3.
Excellent job in that second 25. Katie Goodburn had a brilliant first 25, but it was just in the finish there. She just started to fade as Lucy and Grace passed. But brilliant swim for particularly Grace there in that final 25. Very impressive. And we remain in the splash and dash mode as we move on to the 50 backstroke.
Yeah, but before that, we've got some presentations to do. And the 200 freestyle will be the first of them, the male and open 200 free. So we're just waiting for them to get themselves up to the podium. You might recognise Ian Wright there, a Scotland national coach, will be doing these presentations. So it looks like he's just going to make sure the swimmers come out, and here they come. Bronze medalist from the University of Stirling is George Smith, 145.27. Silver medalist is Cameron Brooker from the Bath Performance Centre, 143.26 for him. And the gold medalist and open champion is Jack McMillan from the University of Stirling. Jack, not a Scot, so our national champion will be George Smith.
Brilliant time there from Jack. The sub 142, it was a brilliant race.
Jensen Norris of Perth City, junior champion. He's having some meat, the youngster from Perth. Seen him on the podium as junior champion a few times now, along with some of his Perth teammates who have joined him there. So what a job Anne Dixon does at the Perth City Club.
Again, great freestyle legacy with Stephen Milne from Perth City.
Yeah, Camilla Hattersley as well, I think, was in that Glasgow 2014 team.
She was.
And she was Perth. So here are the 100 butterfly medalists. That was some race, wasn't it? Bronze medalist there, Kira Schlossen of Edinburgh University. Looks pretty happy to get that bronze medal. Nice to see. The silver medalist, Kiana McInnes, University of Stirling, 57.84, but just 500ths faster than her teammate Lucy Grieve, 57.79 to take the gold. And the junior champion from Inverclyde, Abby McInerney, swimmer making huge progress this season. And last season too, to be fair. 15-year-old, so another one who's got another year as a junior. See, matching Lucy for height always helps.
Yeah, one of those sprint events, height definitely matters, makes all the difference.
So we're back to swimming now. Our next event, as you said, Jack, it's another splash and dash affair, this time on the backstroke. We've again got 3 finals for you, starting with the C final. The line up there, Callum Peebles, Rhys Blackett, Maxine Shamryla, Ryan Ferguson, Jacob Brown, Harry Sharp, Connor Massey and Jack Doherty-Simpson. 26.0 to 26.5 times from the heats. Ryan Ferguson 26.07, Jacob Brown beside him 26.12. So just 500ths between them earlier on today. How are they going to get on here?
I think it was lane 4. Ryan Ferguson using walls to the full extent there. I think it will be the centre lanes here as they break out. Really good underwater there from both Ryan and Jacob. They're powering into the wall here. Again, is it going to be Jacob just in the touch? It looks like it will be. Oh, that was an excellent turn there from Jacob.
Good spot there. Nailed it, 25.93. So Jacob Brown, 17-year-old from Tadcaster, Yorkshire, takes it from a 26.12 in the heats down to 25.93. Just checking what his time coming in was, a 25.99, so he just nicks inside that. So all helps. These swimmers from the northeast of England up here. Great that they've chosen to come here rather than Sheffield, which is going on at Swim England Winter Championships at the moment. Because we are delighted to have them here.
Potentially reflects the quality of the Scottish short course and the pedigree that we've developed over the last several years.
Yeah, and also realistically they're going to get more likely to make finals and get swims in this one than in a very competitive English event. But here's the B finalists: Robert Burgess, Lucas Brown, Andrew Brodie, Finlay Davis, Cameron Jimmerson, Jordan McPhail, Logan Jackson and Lucas Lowry. 25.2, Finlay Davis the fastest of these swimmers, up to a 26.0. Lucas Lowry, the suction pad marks all over his back in lane 8. Did you ever use them?
I did in the past. I wasn't really a fan, if I'm honest. I've moved away from it, but some athletes it really works for. Craig McNally, again, a backstroker, he used to really lean into that.
Yeah, he was the one I was thinking of course, Scottish record holder on most of the backstroke events.
And it's looking like it is Lucas with an electric first 25, and look at the underwaters, Duncan, from Lucas.
Yep, so can he hold on down this second length? It's going to be close here. I think he's just going to be overtaken, and it is Finlay Davis of University of Stirling in on a 25.21. So improves by 100th from his time in the heat, so that's Mr. Consistency in his first season at University of Stirling from the Midlothian team. So he has having a really good first season here at the University of Stirling, certainly for short course. Will be interesting to see what he does long course after Christmas. Now to the open final, and lane 8 there ready to come out. William Ellis of the Borough of Stockton, David O'Loughlin from University College Dublin in 7. Zach Speakman, University of Stirling in 6. 5 is Jack Skerry of Bath Performance Centre. Next to him is second outing tonight, Cameron Brooker in lane 4 from Bath Performance Centre. Dean Fern broke the Scottish junior record this morning, so what can he do? And there's the Scottish national record holder Scott Gibson going into lane 2, and Jamie Ferguson looking Mr. Cool and Calm in lane 1 for University of Aberdeen. So Cameron Brooker, winner in the 200 last night, I'm sure will want to do the hat trick over the 3 nights. 24.02 he was this morning, 23.60 the time he's entered on for this meet. That time, that junior record, 24.43 that Dean Fern set this morning, so we'll keep an eye on that. Scott Gibson's national record, 23.94. Scott only qualifying into lane 2, so he's got some work to do if he's to get close to his record time. But you never know. Sometimes for swimmers it's about just getting into that final, and then the serious business starts now.
Absolutely. Scott Gibson, again a short course specialist, got electric walls, but I think at this level all the athletes have exceptional underwaters, particularly in the backstroke.
I don't think I'd like electric walls if I was doing a turn. I suppose it spurs you on.
Snap your feet off them quicker maybe.
So they're ready to go. Up and into the push-off. See the reaction times up there, 0.5s and 0.6. Out of that turn, Cameron Brooker certainly up there for his Bath colleague Jack Skerry turning with him. So these two, I think, are going to be 1 and 2. It's not clear who's going to get the win, though. Jack Skerry might, well, I'm not sure. I think Cameron Brooker just edging it now. He does, 23.75, so faster than he was this morning. That's the second part of the hat trick complete. So he'll be happy with that. A bit of a shake of the head, not sure what that meant. Maybe just shaking the water out of the system. Jack Skerry taking second, Zach Speakman, and then 24.28 Dean Fern, and that is improving his Scottish junior record there. So brilliant stuff. Twice then he has broken his own Scottish junior record. Came in on a 24.60, 24.4, 24.2.
Big drop in a 50, nearly half a second. It's strength to strength for Dean Fern across all the strokes.
Yeah, very nicely done. So now to 200 breaststroke. So something rather different here. And in the B final is up first Evie O'Halloran Hutchison, Derwent Side and Gateshead in 1. Katie Coventry of Morpeth in 2. Lucy Stowes, Dundee City Aquatics in 3. Anna Finlay of Derwent Side and Gateshead in 4. Niamh Savary of Newcastle in 5. May Rogers of Warrender in 6. Perry Scobie of Stirling Swimming in 7. And Rebecca Reid of Aberdeen in lane 8. So times from the heats, 2:35 up to 2:40. Fastest Anna Finlay, the 17-year-old from Derwent Side and Gateshead. She's first to the 25 turn. Lost 8 lengths of the pool this time. Out of the turn, it is Anna Finlay. Third in the North East Short Course Championships. Fourth in the British Summer Championships. So has a good, strong 200 breaststroke pedigree. 34.35 for her. For the 50, leads by half a second from Niamh Savary. So they'll be familiar opponents, you would think. Anna from Derwent Side and Niamh from Newcastle. But it's very much the Derwent Side swimmer with the upper hand at the moment.
Yeah, really nice skills around the wall for Anna as well. Very quick, short, sharp movements, not wasting any time. Again, breaststroke, you can really spend and waste a lot of time around the walls as we watch Anna come in and hold that and extend that lead. Again, very quick and efficient around the walls. A little bit of a lift there for Niamh as she goes in. Again, a bit of a technical cue to work on. Nice long stroke for Anna, extending that lead. Looking in control, Duncan.
Yeah, I always think of the classic Ross Murdoch on that 200 breaststroke and the way he swam that, and he always made it look so calm and collected. And, well, I'll never forget his face at the end of the Glasgow 2014 200 breaststroke. Absolutely amazing swim, but this is an excellent swim here from Anna Finlay. So with 50 to go, she looks well in control here. 2.5 seconds up, 1:51.17. So just under the 40-second split there. So we're looking around the 2:30 mark. So this is going to be a big pickup from her entry time, well, a heat time rather, of 2:35. And it just needs to just keep that going in this last 50.
Bit of a challenge for third potentially. If Lucy Stoves can inject some pace in this final 25 to challenge Mia Rogers, but it's looking a convincing 1-2 at the moment for Anna and Neve as we come into the final finish. Oh, just 2:31, big drop, and a 2:33.
Yeah, came into the meet on a 2:30, so she might have wanted to go a bit faster than that, but I think you really can't complain with that. And the way she swam out as well, very technically strong. Neve Severy with a big last 50 there, 39 point for her last 50, and that was May Rogers, the local swimmer. 2:36.51 taking third spot there.
May holding on for that third position as we move on to the A final.
And in that A final, the swimmers just getting themselves ready. So we've already seen Susie Minair up on the podium in the individual medley, and here she goes in the 200 breaststroke into lane 8 for University of Stirling. There's Charlotte Hardy going for South Ayrshire. Nuala Gow, we saw a terrific breaststroke from her in the IM. Anna Morgan, who's been on fire this season. And Ellie McCartney, the Irish champion for Limerick in lane 4. There is Cara Hanlon, the British champion, into lane 3. Emily McGee of Dundee City Aquatics in lane 2. And Hannah Bowley of Edinburgh University into lane 1. This will be a good one. The two from Edinburgh University, either side of Ellie McCartney. And, well, you'd think maybe Cara Hanlon would be the favourite here, but Ellie McCartney, 2:22.76 is time coming into this meet, and that is faster than Cara Hanlon's entry time. So, well, maybe it'll be the Irish swimmer.
Cara had a excellent long course 200 breaststroke at the British Championships, so I think she's very much got the capacity for a big swim here. It just depends at what point in the season she's at, how much of a rest she's had for this, but I think there's potential for a big swim here for Cara.
She's not the biggest swimmer, so does long course favour her compared with short course, do you think?
Yeah, I mean, Cara is aware of, again, an ex-teammate of mine of her. She's excellent swimming speed on breaststroke, but the start and the turns in particular aren't quite her strength, as you say, because she is a slightly smaller athlete, but she very much makes up for that in the just technical swimming speed that she has.
Of course, learnt her trade in the Outer Hebrides, Stornoway based, which has been down in Edinburgh for a good few years now. And, well, we'll see how she gets on. So she's in lane 3, but just ahead of her, it does look like Ellie McCartney is, and Anna Morgan are up there. Well, Cara Hanlon, in fact, getting the touch, 31.96. Should I have doubted her? She's up by a couple of tenths. Ellie McCartney second, and Anna Morgan third. I think you could pretty much say those are going to be the three on the podium, but what's the order going to be? It is Cara Hanlon. What's that, half a metre up maybe at the 75. You see that Ellie does make up ground in the turns, and then Cara looking just to ease away again in the swim. So that looks to be a common theme here. See if it happens again here. 107.26 and 108.16, so nearly a second now. The gap, I could tell you that Cara Hanlon's split this morning was a 109.8, so she's about 2.5 seconds faster than she was this morning. Still around about a metre up on Ellie. Anna Morgan looks like she's maybe going to have to settle for the bronze medal. Again, Ellie McCartney picking up in the turn. And Cara Hanlon just trying to swim away from her. Not so much this time, so it was nearly a second. It's less than that now, just under 4/10 of a second. So I think we're going to have a race on in this last 50 between the two of them, and that was a super turn from Ellie McCartney, and that's put her into the lead. So Cara Hanlon has some real work to do in this final 25, because you'll see Ellie, you would think, strong again in this final turn, and she is indeed. What a turn that was. Up by about a body length now. I'm not sure Cara will be able to get that one back. So it's going to be an Irish victory here. Ellie McCarthy so strong then in that last 50 metres to come home in 2:21.21. What a swim that was. That's a second and a half inside her entry time. I don't have the Irish records in front of me, but you would think probably Mona McSharry will be the Irish record holder. Brilliant breaststroke swimmer, but well, Ellie McCartney, I think, can be very happy with that swim.
Absolutely, brilliantly paced. Again, just held her own, and that final 50 really pulled away from Cara, but Cara is exactly on her entry time, so you may assume that is around her personal best. And I think it's a very solid swim for Anna Morgan as well. Slightly outside, I think, what she would have been hoping for, but a convincing win there for Ellie McCartney. That was, again, that last turn, Duncan, was excellent. Really pulled away.
Yeah, fantastic stuff. So we're back to the podium now. The 100 breaststroke presentation will be next to make their appearance. One of Scottish swimming's absolute stalwarts making these presentations. Wyn Hayes, been a real leader in the Learn to Swim area over many, many years. Really has guided Learn to Swim programs across Scotland over the years. So I think thanks to Wyn, a lot of these swimmers getting to where they are now.
Absolutely. The grassroots of Scottish swimming, of course, being the Learn to Swim programs, funneling and keeping those kids in the pathway and hopefully building them all the way through to events such as this.
So it will be the 100 breaststroke, male and open. Here they come out to the podium. So super swim from Rafe Dobson to pick up the bronze medal out of lane 2. 1:00.49. That was significantly faster than he was in the heats. Silver medalist there, the Took swimmer from South Africa, Matthew Randall. 59.8 for him. And our gold medalist, so he's now got to 59.10 as he takes the win and is our Scottish champion. And Perth's Johnny Martin, so another Perth swimmer up on the podium as a junior champion. They just keep on coming, these Perth boys.
Absolutely, and doing a brilliant job, as you said. Again, just the experience Anna has now across the board on all the strokes.
Yeah, so Johnny Martin, 1:05.32 in the heats to earn himself that junior medal.
Wonder how heavy the camera is now, Duncan. Maybe getting a bit heavier. At least it's not the cameras of old, the huge boxes that you used to have to carry.
Well, that's true.
A bit more sleek.
Then they were probably on tripods and you couldn't move them. But,
that's true.
Yeah. And now he's expected to have them on his shoulder the whole time, and nice and steady as well. And you can see he is nice and steady. They're professionals, our camera guys. So bronze medalist in the 50 freestyle, Lucy Hope, 25.36. Silver medalist is the Ard swimmer, Grace Davison. She's having a really strong meet. 25.26 for her. And we'll be taking a number of medals back to Ireland, I'm sure, by the time we're done tomorrow. And Evie Davis just in front of her, taking the gold, and is the Scottish national champion. 25.14 for her. And the junior champion is the Heart of Midlothian swimmer. To check who that is, Layla Weatherspoon that is. So congratulations to Layla picking up that junior medal. So we go back to swimming now, And our next event, you can see, is the 200 butterfly. Again, B final and A final. Line up for the B final: Kieran Lennox, University of Aberdeen Performance; Brogo McAviney of Limerick; Evan Davidson of Perth City; David Annis of University of Stirling; Benjamin Beale, the 14-year-old from Derwentsside and Gateshead, in lane 5; Riccardo Lucarelli of University of Stirling in 6; Callum Sinclair of West Lothian in 7; Fraser Tetlow, University of Aberdeen Performance, in lane 8. Callum Sinclair had a very good 1500 this afternoon. Hopefully that's out of his system now to do a 200 fly, but that's quite a double, 1500 free and 200 fly.
It is indeed. Also quite a double for Evan Davidson with a 200 free and 200 fly. Very powerful, sort of intense events, particularly on the legs. A lot of underwaters. See what he's got in the tank in the 200 fly.
David Annis, the fastest entry time in this B final, 2:03.50.
I think it's lane 4 just. David Annis, closely followed by Riccardo, Kieran Lennoxon and Evan Davidson. Very close between those 4 athletes at the moment in the opening stages.
Yeah, the youngster Benjamin Beale has got some serious work to do if he's to try and get on terms with them in lane 5, but it now looks like Riccardo Lucarelli perhaps, or has he got the edge? Let's see as they come in. No, in fact it is still David Annis at the halfway mark, 57.02, up by 4/10.
Yeah, quite a change there, Duncan, across the board. A sort of convincing 1-2-3 at the moment as they pass the halfway mark, with David Annis really holding a good powerful stroke.
Yep, Evan Davison in 3rd, going well up on lane 1 is Kieran Lennox, probably better known in shorter distance butterfly events, the Aberdeen man, but at the front David Annis still leads the way as we come down to the 150. So you can see he's pacing about half a second faster than Riccardo, 1:27.84 now, and he's up by about a second. So can Riccardo pull something out of the fire in this last 25 metres? Still Evan Davidson in 3rd, just ahead of Kieran Lennox. And now starting to make a move is Benjamin Beale with a late charge in lane 5. But it's going to be David Annis. Nobody's going to get near to him. He will take the B final in a time under the 2 minutes, 1:59.72. So that's much faster than he was this morning, and much faster than his entry time as well, 2:02.69 he came into this meet on, so 3 seconds knocked off that.
Yeah, big personal best there, more than likely, breaking the 2 minutes. Great barrier to break under. And again, Riccardo and Evan Davidson also significantly under their swims from this morning to round off the 1-2-3 as we move on to the A final.
So there they all are, well used to how the routine works now.
Looking forward to this one, Duncan. I think it's going to be a close contest, hopefully, between Tom and Brodie Gordon-Gibson, who's been absolutely on it this meet so far, but Tom Bealey, again, a staple in the 200 butterfly.
So Scott Fleming leads them out into lane 8 for University of Stirling. His teammate Peter Allen, the Isle of Man swimmer, going into lane 7. There's Tom Robertson, Edinburgh University, and his teammate you were just talking about, looking nice and relaxed, Brodie Gordon-Gibson. And there is Tom Bealey, very experienced 25-year-old from the University of Aberdeen. Now this is a swimmer who is somebody for the future. Andrew Bertoli, the 20-year-old from the University of Stirling. What can he do? Isaac Buchan, 17-year-old from Stockton, into lane 2. And Elliot Best of Newcastle Swim Team in lane 1.
Yeah, well, Tom Bealey, sort of entry meet time of 1:54.3.
I'm not sure Elliot Best is there. Oh, he's coming out late there. Where's that, Elliot? Oh no, that
is Andrew Bertoli.
Andrew Bertoli in lane 3, yes.
Slightly behind there.
Oh, I think he's a little bit lucky to be allowed to swim there. I think if he wasn't there, maybe he was marshalling, but just maybe not in the right place. But not the best preparation if you come out in a hurry and a bit of a panic.
No, definitely not. But you know, he's still plenty of time. I mean, he's taking his time getting ready, but the other athletes are just waiting for him now. also in lane 4. Tom Bealey with that experience, also taking his time, realising that Andrew's slightly behind. Again, as I was saying, Duncan, it's a 1:54 entry time for Tom Bealey, so I think for the other athletes to challenge here, it'll be quite an ask, but I'd love to see Brodie Gordon-Gibson hold that form that he's had so far.
He has performed really well so far this weekend, Brodie. As swimmers just moved on and on up the rankings in Scotland, from moving from Warrender to Edinburgh University, and he will go now in lane 5. Tom Bealey in the white cap in lane 4, and certainly Brodie taking it out strong in that first length. Looked like he was first to the wall there, but they're coming down the second length, and now they're side by side pretty much as we come up to the 50. We'll see who gets the touch. I think it will be Tom narrowly, 25.84.
Brodie Gordon-Gibson extremely controlled there. It's almost gliding with each stroke, looking very composed.
Andrew Bertoli up there as well in lane 3. So it is Bealey leading the way from the swimmers either side of him, Gordon-Gibson and Bertoli. So, well,
yeah, Tom Bealey not having it his way, still being challenged all the way as we hit that halfway mark. As well as Andrew Bertoli doing a great job to challenge as well. Yeah, Chris Jones, the coach of Brodie Gordon-Gibson, also a 200 flyer in his day, so I think some of that pedigree coming through here.
Yeah, that's going back a bit now. But yes, absolutely, you're right. He was right up there. But so this is very interesting indeed. Tom Bealey will realise he's got a battle on his hands here as they come up to the 150. He's up by about a metre. Let's check on the splits. 30.59, Bertoli 30.61. Brodie slightly off the pace there, 31.1. So 126.23 as we go into the final 50. It is still Tom Bealey by about a metre, maybe a metre and a half. One last push from Brodie Gordon-Gibson. It looks like he is coming back strongly in this last 50. I think has he gone past Bertoli? I think he has, but he's not going to get past Tom Bealey, but he is pushing him close. So 157.36, 157.99, and third place Andrew Bertoli there.
That's a phenomenal swim there for Brodie Gordon-Gibson. If the entry times are correct in a 2:01, that's a huge drop. Personal best time, likely several seconds off his personal best potential there.
Yeah, Brodie did a 2:00 at Bucks, so take that down nicely here today. So your 1, 2, 3 then confirmed there. So it was Tom Bealey, the old master, taking the win from Brodie Gordon-Gibson and Andrew Bertoli. As we go to the 100 backstroke again, now we've got 3 finals in this one. So the C finalists are Mary Mischenko, University of Aberdeen in 1, Tegan Black of East Lothian in 2, Marie Wood, University of Aberdeen in 3, Rosie Forster of Warrender in 4, Eve Hallisey of Newcastle in 5, Millie Linton, Borough of Stockton in 6, Irene Ferris of Cumbernauld in 7, and Ailey Armstrong of Edinburgh University in lane 8. 104s and 105s, the times from the heats. Tegan Black making it through from the afternoon heats, so she'll be looking to push on here after a very nice swim this afternoon. They're just having to wait a little bit, but the whistle goes now, and they'll be directed into the water and onto the ledges for their start. Rosie Forster, half a second faster than anybody else, going in lane 4 for Warren de Baas. 1:04.21 her time earlier today. So just the 4 lengths of the pool this time. Very consistent reaction times, they're all in the 0.6s. With a nice start in lane 3, that is Marie Wood, the 21-year-old from University of Aberdeen. So she is first to the wall. Coming out well in lane 8, Ailey Armstrong of Edinburgh University. Let's see as we see them come up to the wall. Is it going to be Ailey? I think it is. Oh, very close. Yes, just by 400ths from Marie Wood. And Eve Hallisey in third place, 30 77 is the halfway split. So are we going to see an outside smoker taking this one? Can Ailey Armstrong hold on to her strong first half performance? Starting to move up in lane 5 is the 15-year-old from Newcastle, Eve Hallisey. So coming in now, I think it's going to be Eve taking the win, and she does in 1:03.22. So she improves by a second and a half from her heat swim.
Yeah, it was a great job there for Ailey as well. Gutsy swim, managing to get in the top 3 from the outside lane.
Yep, Marie Wood second and Ailey Armstrong in third there. And they will have those swimmers nicely inside their heat swims. So to the B final now. We have the lineup: Gabby Freeman of Morpeth, Isabel Eiley, Edinburgh University, Heidi Wren, City of Glasgow, 2 from University of Stirling, Laura Ann Marshman and Florence Tinsley go in 4 and 5. There are 2 more from Edinburgh University: Amy Shields in 6, Anna Green in 7, and the Orkney swimmer Eve Wood is in lane 8, and she will be the junior champion, the only junior in this B final. No juniors in the open final. Already picked up a junior medal yesterday. I think that was in butterfly from memory, 50 butterflies, so doubling up with the backstroke. There's promising things going on in Orkney. There's a few good swimmers from Orkney, but we'll see how she does. Well, we saw a nice one from lane 8 in the C final, so let's see how it can go. But the fastest qualifier for this one was just by 100th of a second, Laura Ann Marshman, over her teammate Florence Tinsley, so I'm sure they'll have their own private battle going on here.
Yeah, on paper it's very close between Heidi, Laura Ann and Florence, all very, very close as you say, but let's see how it pans out. If any of them have held back potentially from this morning, or a bit more tactics, and who can really turn it on in the final.
Very strong first 25 from Heidi Wren in lane 3. She was certainly first through that 25-metre turn, and I think she's still going to be first at the 50 turn. Not by that much though. 10th from Florence Tinsley, 29.28 and 29.37. So Florence Tinsley looks like she is getting ahead of steam going on now. But it's still, I think, Heidi just turning first in lane 3. So let's see if the 17-year-old from City of Glasgow can bring this one home. Nice turn from her, nice underwater work. And it does look like she is going to bring this one in. I don't think anyone's going to catch her now. So lovely swim from Heidi. 1:01 on the nail for Heidi Wren. Just check what her entry time is, 1:00.92 that she did up in Aberdeen in November at the North District Open. So right on that pace again here. So consistency there, just a 10th apart, those 2 swims. And she is the winner of that B final. Eve Wood, as I said, will be the junior champion.
Yeah, it was an excellent final turn there from Heidi. Really maximised those walls, and it put into that final convincing win in the end.
So to the open final, and ready to come out now in lane 8, Hannah Pearce of Tooks of South Africa. Nice wave to the crowd, thank you. Lane 7, Karen Herbst, her teammate from Tooks. Then we've got the Limerick swimmer, Danielle Farrell, in lane 6. 5 is Holly McGill of University of Stirling, her teammate, and Olympian Kathleen Dawson in lane 4. Katie Shanahan in lane 3, another Olympian. Lane 2, Millie Waring going strong in this weekend, and Caitlin Ebbage in lane 1 for the University of Stirling. Millie Waring swimming for City of Glasgow.
Great to see Kathleen back from some injury in recent years. It's been a bit of a bumpy ride, so to speak, and it's great to see her back on form. And
for me, that was the moment of the British Championships. Kathleen's performance, really exercising all sorts of demons and showing that she still has it. So it'll be very interesting to see how she goes here, because Katie Shannon on one side, Holly McGill on the other side are going to give her a good test here.
I think they will, all training together at University of Stirling. Got the vast experience of Kathleen and the youngsters of Holly in particular, and Katie, and again nipping at her heels.
Yep, Katie Shannon, of course, already a winner in the 200 IM at the beginning of the finals, so will that still be in her body? What can the two South Africans do there, nearest to the camera there? So they could be quite a bit faster, I think, than they were in the heats. But look at that start there from Kathleen Dawson. Absolutely beautiful.
Potentially cutting it a bit fine there, Duncan, right on that 15 mark, taking it right as
I think she was okay. It looked to me like she was okay. And that, I suppose, is the experience showing. You know exactly when to come up to maximise it without just going over that mark.
Another really good turn there for Kathleen, taking a few tenths out of her teammates off the wall. Guys are coming in, it's looking like a top three. A bit of a challenge from Caitlin up there in lane one, potentially, to upset the Stirling party.
Yeah, I think it is going to be the 1, 2, 3, and Kathleen Dawson has got this absolutely nailed. Who's going to get second there? That is up for grabs. I think it will be Shanahan. It is 58.17. So that's an excellent swim from Kathleen Dawson there. So nicely faster, 6 tenths faster than she was this morning. I think she'll be pretty happy with that. Katie Shannon, 58.6. And she'll be happy with that. Coming into the meet with a 58.57 that she did, winning at Bucks. And Holly McGill have also comfortably under the minute there. So good swim from her in 59.12. Just looking at that, I think that is a personal best time for Holly McGill. So all bodes well. Backstroke, female backstroke in Scotland is alive and well.
Absolutely. Great for relay opportunities as well. The likes of strong breaststroke and freestylers. It's looking good for 2026 potentially.
Yeah, indeed. And certainly those three right up there in British circles as well for
Absolutely.
Worlds coming up in 2025. They'll all be having a go to try and get on that Worlds team. I think they can take 2 swimmers for each event if they're fast enough. So here come our medalists for the 50 metres backstroke. Bronze medalist Zach Speakman, University of Stirling, 24.18. Jack Skerry, silver medalist from Bath Performance Centre. And Cameron Brooker, a Scottish Open champion, so that is number 2 on backstroke for him, 23.75. And our Scottish champion and Scottish junior champion, that new junior record for Dean Fern of Aberdeen Dolphin. What a swim that was. What a swimmer he is.
Sort of an electric. Keep using that term, another electric. That's the only way you can describe the splash and dash, really. But it was a 50 fly yesterday as well.
Yeah.
Very fast. It's a promising youngster coming through.
Yeah, and he certainly. Now I think if you look at the male junior records, it's really only 2 swimmers who've got those records, most of them. And they are a certain Duncan Scott and a certain Dean Fern. So we all know how Duncan progressed from his junior days.
Absolutely. I mean, Dean reflecting more of a sprint pedigree at the moment. Duncan obviously a bit more of the 200, but again, what a pair of shoes to fill. 200
breaststroke medalist up now. Bronze medalist from the University of Edinburgh, Anna Morgan, 225.69 for her. Might recognise the person doing the presentations here, Chief Executive Officer of Sports Scotland, former Chief Executive of Scottish Swimming, Forbes Dunlop. And he presents the silver medal to Cara Hanlon. Great swim from Cara. And what a swim it was from the Irish woman, Ellie McCartney, taking the gold, and is the Scottish Open champion, 221.21. Cara Hanlon will be the Scottish national champion with that 223.10. And another Perth swimmer picking up the junior medal, and that is 14-year-old Ella Thompson picking up the junior medal, age 14. Fantastic.
Oh, plenty more years left in the junior categories to push that on.
Yep. So we now move to 100 meters individual medley. 3 finals once again in this one. And the C final, we have Corey Phillip of Perth City, Lachlan Small of Stirling Swimming, Conor Massey, City of Glasgow, Albert Bangan, University of Stirling, Robert Burgess of Edinburgh University, Robson Miles, City of Glasgow, Jack Doherty Simpson, also from the City of Glasgow, and Elliot Arnell of Borough of Stockton. 59.0 up to 59.9, so
We're
hopefully...
missing lane 4, I believe.
Oh, are we?
By the
We
looks
are
of it.
indeed, you're right. No Albert Bangan, he's already swum tonight, so maybe just feeling the effects of that. He's not there.
Quite a fun event, the 100 IM. Duncan, all 4 strokes, so quick. Flying around, it's a rare, obviously only a short course event.
Yeah. And really absolutely no margin for error, any slightest hiccup in any of the elements, the transitions from stroke to stroke, getting into that stroke. You've really got to get every little bit right here.
Yeah, real test of the skills across the board, both turns, walls, in and out of the walls, and of course, as you say, testing all 4 strokes.
So lanes 3 and 5 is Conor Massey and Robert Burgess. It's Glasgow versus Edinburgh, and it certainly looks like advantage. Edinburgh now with Robert Burgess, actually a former City of Glasgow swimmer himself. He takes this in style, 57.95. That is quite a bit faster, a second and a quarter faster than he was in the heats, and takes it convincingly by 7/10 from Conor Massey, with Corey Phillip, the Perth man, taking 3rd place. On to the B final. The line-up there: Finlay Sang, City of Glasgow, Logan van der Merlen of Stirling Swimming, Adam Metcalf of Loughborough Town, Aaron Ulkers, University of Stirling, Lewis Maxwell of Derwentsside and Gateshead, Jensen Norris of Perth City, Nathaniel Shanubi of the University of Stirling, and Anthony Falk of Birmingham University. So the times here, 56.8 to 58.6, almost anagrams of each other, the fastest and slowest times. This time we do have all 8 lanes occupied. Aaron Ulkers at 56.87, but only 0.08 faster than Lewis Maxwell this morning. University of Stirling swimmer Aaron. So down to the first turn, the end of the butterfly, you can't separate them. Through they go into the backstroke. Nice transition from Lewis Maxwell in lane 5. It looks like he has the edge now, coming up to halfway from Adam Metcalf in lane 3. And it is the Derwentsside swimmer, 25.43, who leads them into breaststroke.
Yeah, going Lewis Maxwell's way at the moment, but a challenge up from Adam Metcalf, powering through in the breaststroke. It's going to be a tight final 25. So we move on to the freestyle leg. Who's got the underwaters? Excellent turn there from Lewis Maxwell's powering through, in a bit of a last-minute dash from Aaron as they come into the final touch. It's going to be really close for 2nd and 3rd. It just goes to Aaron, storming through in that final 25, just to nudge out Adam Metcalf.
So it's a very nice swim from Lewis, showing all the skills. Came into this meet on a 56.6. He did that last year, so 55.9 this year, so that's good progression of 7/10 through the season. And now to the open final. And just waiting for the right moment to come out. will be our swimmer from the University of Stirling, who will be going into lane 8. Just keep yourself nice and loose as he comes out. Liam Molam, his teammate Cameron Rapson in lane 7. The Took swimmer Matthew Randall in lane 6. Andrew Arthur, University of Aberdeen in 5. For Josh Press, University of Stirling. Lane 3, Dean Fern, back again. There's Stefan Kravis for the University of Edinburgh, going into lane 2. And Finlay Davis in lane 1 for the University of Stirling. So Dean Fern,
back again.
not had a lot of rest time in here. He will be looking at Craig McLean's Scottish junior record 56.23 to the 56.33 in the heat, so he's just a tenth off it this morning because he has just swum very recently, so he's not had a lot of recovery time. So let's see how he gets on. Josh Press, the fastest qualifier by over a second, 54.96. That was some 4/10 nearly faster than his entry time, 55.3. So Josh Press in good form so far this weekend. He'll be looking to pick up gold here. Andrew Arthur, the second fastest qualifier, 22-year-old from University of Aberdeen, formerly from University of Stirling, so he'll know Josh well. Will have trained with him. Now off they go. Certainly it is Dean Fern making a vote. No surprise, he will be strong in the first half. We've seen his butterfly and backstroke capabilities already this weekend, and he is just, I think, edging it halfway, but not by much from Josh Press. 200ths of a second, 24.59. He was at 24.77 in the heat, so he is slightly faster. He only needs to be slightly faster to get that junior record, but now in the breaststroke, Josh Press taking control. No surprise there. Andrew Arthur is in second place, so that's going to be the 1-2. The eyes are on Dean Fern, what that time is going to be. So 54.72, a couple of tenths improvement for Josh. Second place was Andrew Arthur, 55.06, and it was 55.59. That is a new Scottish junior record. In fact, he demolished it by 7/10 there. So what an evening Dean Fern has had, taking that.
Such intent on that first 50, Duncan. It was absolutely brilliant, and then holding on well to finish through. But it's an excellent breaststroke leg at the end for Josh Press.
Yes.
Really convincing.
But credit to Dean Fern, breaststroke not his thing, but he hung in there, showed some good skills in that breaststroke to keep himself in contention, to really push on hard in the freestyle at the end.
Yeah, he came back in the freestyle. It's just that one weak leg in the breaststroke. If he can work on that, that's quite an impressive set there for a 200 IM potentially, dare I say.
Yeah, definitely. So our final individual events of the evening, the female 400 freestyle B and open finals. So there's your lineup for the B final. Rebecca Reid of Aberdeen in 1, Katie Otterson of Newcastle in 2, Phoebe Buckle of Warrender in 3, Alice Forrest, Derwentside and Gateshead in 4, Hannah Pearce of Tooks in 5, Eve Hallisey of Newcastle in 6, Katie Noble also of Newcastle in 7, Isabel Wood, Edinburgh University in 8. 420 to 426. Well, 16 lengths of the pool in this one, so chance to, I guess, sit back and admire the skills of these swimmers for the next 4 minutes and 20 seconds or so.
Yeah, the 400 freestyle is an interesting one, Duncan, from a pacing perspective. I remember speaking to athletes such as Stephen Milne, who we've mentioned already. It's kind of that in-between distance. You know, you're not in the same comfort level of an 800 or 1500 from a more relaxed perspective, and you're obviously not quite as sprint focused as 100 or 200, but it's right in that middle point where it can be an absolutely brutal event, particularly with that lactic acid that we spoke about earlier building. You go to your legs a lot more in the 400s. It makes a bit more of the the skills coming through in the walls in particular. As we settle into the pacing of the first 100, it's looking like Alice Forrest, closely followed by Isabel Wood out in lane 8.
Yeah,
Phoebe
nice.
Arbuckle for third position.
Yep. Phoebe Arbuckle might just want to have an eye on the Scottish Junior record here that's held by Roisin Ramsey, who was a Warrender swimmer back in the day. So we'll see what she can do. She's certainly up in the mix there as they come up to the 150. Who's going to get the touch? It is Phoebe. It's a 32-0 split there, quite a bit faster than anybody else. Goes through 133.6. So if she can keep that pace going, well, we'll see what she can do. That junior record stands 4:12.88. Phoebe coming into this meet on a 4:15, so she'll need to find 3 seconds off her entry time. She was quite a bit slower than that this morning, 4:22. So certainly needs to pick up a lot from that. So halfway mark, 2:06.12. Well, that's a bit of an ask, I would think. More or less has to even split it to match that record. And you see there 32.5, so probably pacing probably more akin to about the 2:10 for her second half at the moment. So she would need to find something extra on that. Probably not going to happen, but she'll be focusing now, I think, perhaps on trying to win this heat. Here comes the tuck swimmer, Hannah Pearce. So is she going to put in a challenge in the second half here? She's up into third place, just tucked in behind Alice Forrest as Phoebe going through 2:38 there. She's up by a body length, Phoebe. So she is a 16-year-old, so last hurrah as a junior. And it does look like it's going to be the South African Hannah Pearce who might well put in a challenge in the final 100. She's definitely closing. She's gone past Alice Forrest and now trying to set about Phoebe Arbuckle. You can see about half a second faster on that 50, and she's 8/10 back with 100 to go.
Yeah, Hannah Pearce really powering through the legs now. She's built through almost negative splitting so far from that first 200, coming through really well. Again, you see that powerful kick coming off the wall, gaining and gaining on Phoebe Arbuckle there. It's going to be a really exciting final 50 to see who takes the first position.
So it is still Phoebe, but only by 4/10 now. And you see again about half a second in the splits there, 33 and 32.5. So Phoebe has to dig in hard here and try and get this one done. She still has the lead on the final turn, but Hannah Pearce coming out of that turn very strong indeed. So this is going to be nail-biting stuff coming down the final length then. Who is going to get the touch here? It's going to be on the touch. Who gets it? Phoebe, I think, hangs on. She does by 13 hundredths of a second. 4:16.45 and 4:16.58 for Hannah Pearce. Hannah will be happy with that. Came into the speed on a 4:20. So 4-second improvement for her. Alice Forrest finishing in third place there, 4:19.55. So a nice swim from her as well inside her entry time. But the winner, 4:16.45 in a very close encounter. Warrender's Phoebe Arbuckle.
Great finish there for Hannah, but Phoebe really powered through that final 50, holding enough in the tank to get the sprint finish at the end. As we move on to the final individual event, the final of the 400 freestyle.
Yeah, we really rattled through this evening's races. We're not disappointed either. So here we go with the last of our individual races, as you said. And another junior coming out first, Evie Mackey of South Lanarkshire. Then we have Mari Craig of Edinburgh University. Lucy Hope back again for the 400 freestyle for University of Stirling. Elizabeth Land of Newcastle into lane 5. There's Leah Crisp of Bath in lane 4. 3 is Ella Smith of Borough of Stockton. Michaela Glenister going to lane 2 for the University of Stirling, and Emma Price hiding behind the banner there, but she comes out to lane 1 for Borough of Stockton. So the lineup confirmed there. Leah Crisp, you would think, will be the favourite here. Although Lucy Hope, you never know. We'll see what she can do out of lane 6. So did she just taking it easy?
Both with entry times of 4:08. So again, on paper, it could be very close. I think Leah Crisp more with the experience in the 400, but Lucy in recent years has been doing more of it. Potentially a tactic towards the 200 freestyle, more than likely.
Yeah. The only thing I'm questioning is whether she's done enough since the Olympics to just have that strength and stamina to see her through this one. She looked a little bit flat in the 200. She's done well in the shorter distances. So we'll see how she gets on. She goes in lane 6. Leah Crisp, as you said, in lane 4. The Bath swimmer. We saw Leah in the British Championships in the final. She was 6th overall in that one. Silver medalist in British Universities back in February. That was long course. So early on, and Lucy Hope has settled into a nice early rhythm, but she's just tucked in 3rd place. Michaela Glenister in lane 2 getting the touch, and Emma Price off to a fast start as well in lane 1, 16-year-old from Stockton. But they're nice and smooth here through the 75-metre turn. Just hold your fire for the moment. Just keep that nice calm movement going, the rhythm of the 400 free. And it's Michaela Glenister, only one under the minute here.
Yeah, Michaela Glenister going out with a lot of intent in that first 100, setting the tone. Again, there's plenty still to come in the 400, as we saw Hannah in the previous race come through in that second half. Likely see that from Leah Crisp in lane 4, potentially building through the style that she usually applies to the 400. Again, see a slight move being made by Leah Crisp as she comes in to this 150 mark.
So the swimmers we talked about, we didn't talk about Michaela Glenister. Maybe we should have done, because she's got a lead of 1.5 seconds through the 150. We certainly know her as a distance freestyler. In her day as a youngster, she was really strong 400 IMer, and we know that she can do the 400 freestyle, very strong on it. So what we're going to see here, she is the Scottish champion long course. So halfway mark, and she's still up by a good body length, just over 1 second. Leah Crisp now starting to make her move, and you'd expect her maybe to push on in the second half. I think we saw her doing that earlier. It's very much putting the emphasis on the second half of her swim, and it does look like she is coming at Michaela Glenister now. So certainly these two now well clear. I think Lucy Hope just into second ahead of Elizabeth Lamb, but Michaela and Leah now just 36 hundredths apart, and you can see there Leah's 50 split quite a bit faster than Michaela's. So they're now just about side by side as they go through, coming up now towards 300 meters, and it is the Bath swimmer has moved into the front. So Leah Crisp comes into the speed, as you said, 4:08, so 3:06.77 her time, and you can see there 31.3, nearly 1 second faster than Michaela's. Lucy Hope also under the 32 in 3rd place. I can't see her catching the two in front of her, but she's looking pretty good for the bronze medal here. Can she catch Michaela? Maybe she can here. Not going to catch Leah. Leah is going to get this one, coming up now to the 350, and she turns 3:38.34, leads by 1.5 seconds nearly. Well, Michaela Glenister still has 2 seconds over Lucy Hope. Doesn't look like 2 seconds, it looks like less than that looking at them in the pool, but well, I think that maybe will be the 1, 2, 3. Still Elizabeth Lamb pushing on in lane 5, not quite done yet, but Leah Crisp is going to lead them home in fine style. All about the second half here for Leah Crisp, and we'll bring it in 4:09.13.
Excellent swim there for Leah. split it perfectly again, as we expected, coming through very strongly in that second half, building through. But Michaela Glennis are also doing a great job. Entry time of a 4:09.9, so again very close with a 4:11. I think she'll be pleased with that.
Yep. And Lucy Hope once again on the podium for 13:46 for her. So taking a progression from a 4:19 this morning. And our last two swims will be relays. So medley relay, you never really know what's going to happen in a mixed medley relay, because you've got sort of double trouble in a way. Of you've got the male and the female, and you've got also of course the different strokes, and you'll have strengths in different strokes in each of the teams. So we'll see what happens. We had some storming. Swimmers' top four teams were inside the Scottish club record last night in the 4x50 freestyle. So it'll be interesting. That Scottish club record held by University of Stirling, 1:42.01 in this one. So we'll see whether they can improve on that. Can Edinburgh University take it from them? They have a tasty looking team. Gibson, Hanlon, Gordon Gibson and Goodburn. That's a nice team to have. The University of Stirling A team will be Shanahan, Dixon, McInnes and McMillan. Well, that feels pretty strong.
Oh, it does indeed. I think it's going to be really a tough ask to challenge the Stirling team. It is looking really good on paper, but I think the Edinburgh guys will. I think they've got the potential in the team. But as you say, Duncan, looking at this first heat, I think it's really interesting to see, as we see, different athletes. You know, we've got one female swimmer starting in the backstroke. Is where you position. Actually, there's two female athletes on the backstroke. Again, just how much it can chop and change, particularly on the breaststroke leg as well, being the slowest leg. Can be vast differences in the times potentially. So yeah, an exciting one to start.
So the lineup: Tadcaster, Morpeth, Aquajets, University of Aberdeen B team, Warrender Junior team, South Ayrshire A team, Aberdeen Dolphin in lane 7, and City of Glasgow B team in lane 8. So a strong start in lane 5, also lanes 1 and 3. So lane 5 is University. No, it's not. I'm getting ahead of myself here. Lane 5, Warrender Juniors. Lane 3 is Aquajets, and lane 1, Tadcaster. All pretty close here on the breaststroke. Looks like Aquajets on the breaststroke leg. Ben Hartridge, Christopher Acevedo for them. On the breaststroke for the Warrender Juniors, it's Dylan Mitchell. And into the fly swim now. And it's women taking this one in all of the leading teams. Just saw. Now we have Warrender's Kiana Kurtzer just behind Aquajets, Lara Turner and Aberdeen Dolphin going well in lane 7 with Ailsa Club, but it's all down to the freestylers then. Aquajets with the lead, 1:22.64, up by 7/10. But, well, are they going to hold on to that? So far they are. On the anchor leg, Erin O'Meara. Warrender Juniors have Phoebe Arbuckle just out of the water in a 400 freestyle. And she is pushing very hard here. Aberdeen Dolphin in 3rd place with Heather Club. Who gets the touch? It is Aquajets in 1:49.24. So just checking, there were 2 junior teams in that one, the Warrender team and the Aberdeen Dolphin team. So it's the Warrender team, 1:49.85. So I think they will be the junior champions. So not far away from the junior club record that is held by Warrender, 1:49.28. So they were within half a second of that, but well done, Warrender. But now our last race of the evening. So we have these swimmers coming out for our last race. In fact, we had disqualification in that last one. You can see there Tadcaster being disqualified there. So the swimmers coming out, lane 8, City of Glasgow B team, lane 7, Edinburgh University B team, lane 6, City of Glasgow A team, 5 the University of Stirling A team, then the Edinburgh University A team, University of Stirling C team. Can you fancy Kathleen Dawson leading out the C team? How ridiculous is that? Then the University of Stirling B team, Zach Speakman will be leading out for them, and the University of Aberdeen in lane 1.
So I think it just shows the strength and depth of Stirling University having 3 competitive teams in this final heat.
So we got Scott Gibson leading out for Edinburgh University, so expect him and Zach Speakman to be the early leaders. So we also have Stefan Kravis for the Edinburgh University B team. Don't really think of him as a backstroker, I must admit, but we'll see what he can do here for the B team. So you'd expect those 3 men to be leading at the 50, but then it will all even out as we go to the second leg. Rory Dixon will be for the University of Stirling, so they will be strong on that second leg. Already we've seen him 2 breaststroke gold medals to his name, so watch out for him in lane 5. Cara Hanlon going for Edinburgh University. Of course, we've seen her superb so far this weekend.
Yeah, I think Cara will be wanting as big a lead as possible that Scott can give her here. She'll be hunted down by Rory Dixon of Stirling. Again, just the excitement of that mixed relay, having the male-female battles on the different strokes.
So off they go. So watch out for the men, as I said. Scott Gibson in 4, Zach Speakman in 2, and Stefan Kravis in lane 7, and they are the 3 taking it out as you would expect. Really good from Zach Speakman in lane 2. They're off to a superb start. 24.03. Second swimmer for them, Rafe Dobson. So they've gone up front with men on that University of Stirling B team. There's Cara Hanlon, and also for Edinburgh University, Anna Morgan in lane 7, the 2 breaststroke specialists coming at them. We said that Rory Dixon would be really roaring up, and so they have gone women-man as we come up. So those leading teams in the centre lanes both have 1 man, 1 woman, and it was at the front there still Lucy Grieve. Then we saw her winning in the fly. So what can she do to try and hold off the men who are coming at her, led by lane 4, Brodie Gordon Gibson, who is closing fast here. So he's only about a metre behind now as Evie Davis goes to the University of Stirling B team. Katie Goodburn for Edinburgh University. Now watch out in lane 5, Jack McMillan will come storming up for the University of Stirling. Can he catch the 2 women? I think he probably can. They're coming through then. Jack McMillan is taking it through, and he will take the last race of the day. That time 1:41.62. That is a new Scottish club record, taking 4 tenths out. Look at that, 20.98. That is unreal.
What a split that was. Electric off the walls. Again, I used that, but that was blisteringly quick. 20.8 split. Absolutely storming past. Took nearly 5 seconds out of the 2 female athletes there.
So just confirming the 1, 2, 3 then. So it's a University of Stirling 1, 2. New Scottish club record for their A team. Their silver medalist, the University of Stirling B team, and the bronze medalist, Edinburgh University A team. So a great way to finish off. And yes, so off a relay split, what would have been the best you could have done as a specialist 50 freestyle? Would you?
I think I split a 20.1, so my career at my absolute peak. So I think it was 2018. I went 21.5 individually, and I think at that competition I split. I think it was a 20.8.
So you don't think of Jack as a 50 one, no. But on the basis of that
was yeah. But the takeover, you can see some blisteringly quick splits.
Yeah.
Again, Duncan Scott I've seen do low 20.4 before. Really, really quick. You can gain so much in those takeovers.
Yeah. So it has been a great evening swimming. So do stay around for our remaining presentations. So we've got plenty of them. We're starting off with the 200 butterfly. That was a good race. As we'll be seeing them very shortly. That's while we wait for them to come up. Race of the evening for you?
I think the women's 100 butterfly was very exciting. Enjoyed that, and I think the 200 breaststroke woman was also very good. It's hard to have a complete standout. I think there's been quite a few that have. There's been some impressive across the board. Maybe Jack McMillan's 200 free. I think seeing that 141 was very impressive.
So here come our medalists for the 200 meters butterfly. Certainly the female 100 butterfly, I think it was the one that's stuck out for me. The SASA president Derek McGowan is making these presentations. So the bronze medalist Andrew Bertoli from University of Stirling, Brodie Gordon Gibson, and that very nice swim 157.99 for the silver medal. And Tom Bealey, he had to work for it, but he'll be taking the gold, and the Scottish champion back up to Aberdeen, and it is East Lothian's Ross Anderton is our junior champion. Pretty sure that will be a first junior medal for Ross in his career. I think he's got another year as a junior as well. So good stuff from Ross. Our next presentation will be the 100 backstroke. That was another great swim. I should have mentioned that probably in highlights as well. These female 100 back. In fact, the women have put on a good show for us tonight. There have been a lot of really exciting female finals.
There has been. It's just great to see Kathleen back on some really solid form, as we said earlier, and a really great time. Was that 58.1, I believe? It was really quick.
So it's Holly McGill, good time from her as well, 59.12. Folks are not doing this presentation. Silver medalist Katie Shanahan, 58.60. And confirmation there of that gold medal, 58.17 for Kathleen Dawson. So University of Stirling, 1, 2, 3 there. And our junior champion is Eve Wood from Orkney. Her second junior medal of the weekend.
Yeah, great to see some athletes from the islands coming in and doing well. Again, we mentioned Cara earlier and Stornoway. Training in I think it was a 15-meter pool back in the day is what she trained in. So yeah, it's good to have the full
just
breadth.
Shows if you've got the water,
absolutely,
and you're determined enough, it's amazing what you can do. So this is the 100 IM, and the model bronze medalist 55.59, that new Scottish junior record. Really been rewriting those junior records this weekend. Andrew Arthur, silver medalist, 55.06. And Josh Press, our open champion, in 54.72 for the University of Stirling. So the Scottish national champion will be Andrew Arthur. So another gold medal going up Aberdeen way. And that junior medal also going to Aberdeen, but this time to Aberdeen Dolphin. Dean Fern, and that new Scottish junior record, 55.59. Brilliant. Two more presentations to do. First of them will be the female 400 freestyle. So they'll be up shortly. Of course, a lot of these swimmers, in fact, most of them will have been in that relay at the end there, so we can forgive them just taking a little while to get themselves organised. So the bronze medalist Lucy Hope, looks like she's just coming down now to, there she is. Nice speed up to the blocks as well. And there's silver medalist Michaela Glenister from the University of Stirling. And the gold medalist and open champion from Bath Performance Centre, Leah Crisp, time of 4:09.13. So the Scottish national champion will be Michaela Glenister. And the junior champion, Evie Mackey of South Lanarkshire.
And we're just waiting for the teams to come together. Again, having just raced, a lot of them will be either in the warm down pool, just getting themselves ready. They've got a busy podium in a moment.
So our final presentation then, as you said, Jack, our medley mix relays. So again, just getting them organised.
See if all 12 people will be able to fit in this podium, Duncan.
This will be a challenge because they're not small people.
No, that's very true. Summer shoulders and all that.
Yep. So the bronze medalists.
Still missing an Edinburgh athlete. I think we're missing Scott Gibson.
And that time of 1:42.87, I can tell you, because all these four swimmers are Scots. That is a new Scottish record. We missed that in the commentary. So a new Scottish record from the four Scots here of Scott Gibson, Cara Hanlon, Brodie Gordon-Gibson and Katie Goodburn. So not just the club record broken here, but also the national record, beating a Scottish national team record. So it just shows the quality of the quartet of Scots from Edinburgh University there. Very well done to them. Silver medalists, University of Stirling B team. So they're not all four Scots, that's why they don't qualify for the Scottish record, but they are very strong team, 1:42.32. That was just 3/10 away from the old Scottish club record. Because for the Scottish club record, you could be any nationality, you just have to be in a Scottish club. Of course, the University of Stirling qualifies as that. And so we do have new Scottish club record holders, and there they are, a time of 1:41.62. And that is the quartet from the University of Stirling of Katie Shanahan, Rory Dixon, Kiana McInnes and Jack McMillan. So Jack McMillan, the one non-Scot there, with that blistering freestyle at the end.
20.9, great split.
So that is your 1, 2, 3, and finally your junior champions is the team from Warrender Baths. Now Warrender team, Harry Sharp, Dylan Mitchell, Kiana Kurtzer and Phoebe Arbuckle. Phoebe, I think, yeah, she is there, she's on the left hand side there. So there four of them are. So the answer is you can get 12 on the podium, but you can't get 16.
Not surprised, Duncan. I think 12 even was a bit of a push. 16 would be, yeah.
Yep, too much.
Too much.
So that's it, folks. We've enjoyed your company today. We hope you've enjoyed the transmission. We'll be back for day 3, our final day of presentation. We'll start our coverage at 5 to 9. We hope that you'll join us on a Sunday morning for that. But from myself, Duncan McKinnell, from my co-commentator Jack Thorpe.
Well, thank you very much, Duncan.
We'll
It's
wish
been a great
you
session.
a very good evening. Thank you very much for your company.